Hey, what's up guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. Welcome back to another live stream. Today's Thursday, December the 4th, one day away from Friday again. We were just talking about this on Monday, and yes, seems like it was just yesterday, but no, tomorrow is Friday again. In this video, we're going to talk about the latest and the greatest information I could find about Comet Atlas. I've been talking about Comet Atlas for a couple of days, and today we're going to discuss Comet Atlas. What's going on, guys? Having coffee with common sense. You must get notified every time. That's cool. I'm glad somebody is. What's up, Ragdoll, Jason, SR, Tout of New Mexico. Good to see everybody here. Justin, we're going to come back and take a look at Comet Atlas, what it's doing, where it's going here in a minute. Okay, here's where it's at. I'll show you guys right now. We're over here at the JPL. This is the sky map today, 12/4/2025. Atlas just exited the orbit of Mars. So we all know that it's going through the solar system like a jet would fly, flying in on the ecliptic plane, which is in itself very bizarre. And the fact that it went by 3 planets, had perihelion behind the sun, just a whole plethora of unusual things makes this thing highly mysterious. It's coming up on a gas giant, and we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. Speaking of gas giants, I want to give you guys an update on the planetary alignment situation. Yes, we are in an unusual position with regard to planet Earth. This happens every once in a while when the big squeeze is on, is what I call it, when the Earth is in between, obviously, the sun, the main character of all of this stuff up here in space. But sometimes when the gas giants and other planets line up, and we have what I call conductors and transistors, and you look at the cosmos as a circuit board, it kind of makes more sense. So that's what we're looking at right now. At least that's how I look at it. And energy's on the move. And Earth is in a prime position to receive a lot of that energy. And today, believe it or not, here's the position of the planets literally right now as I do this video, at least with regard to Jupiter, Earth, obviously the main character, Sun, and then Mars on the backside. So that's what we've got going on. But today, something unusual happened, and I know you guys, more than likely, because you're wide awake and on the ball, make sure you hit that like button, guys. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a screen grab that I took. I'm like, wait a minute, did they put it back on here? Today, at 16:06 Universal Time, it was mid-morning out here in Arizona, there was a 5.9 earthquake, a very shallow 5.9 earthquake. In fact, it was about, 4 miles deep, 8 kilometers, right here near Carson City, Nevada, just east of Lake Tahoe. I mean, talk about an unusual place for an earthquake. Well, that's one of the side effects of these rare planetary alignments and high solar activity like we're seeing right now. And not to mention, we're entering full moon phase. In fact, it's probably already full moon. So all of these things factored in do have an influence on earthquakes. And I was like, what? A 5.9 in western Nevada near Carson City? Well, lo and behold, about 30 minutes later, the earthquake was taken off the map. And I went to the USGS seismographs because I wanted to see the seismographs for myself, at least in the area of Nevada, maybe Utah and Wyoming. They were offline. None of them were online. They may still be offline for all I know. So here's a look at the earthquake map right now. And as you guys can see, no 5.5 or 5.9 near Lake Tahoe or Carson City. They said it was some sort of a glitch. Okay. 5.9 is a pretty big glitch, Mr. Graham01, who's a Star family member. I don't think I've ever seen that. Yes, I've seen earthquakes come on here, doubles, a tandem. Let's say, for instance, there was a 6.5 somewhere, just anywhere. Let's say down here in Tonga, there was a 6.5. Okay? Well, sometimes the map would show a double 6.5, one right after the other, maybe 10 seconds later, and maybe even at a different depth. Well, one of them later they would take off the map as it was some sort of a, they call it a a shake detector, and the shake detector sensor, whatever, was detecting 2 when in reality there was 1. Well, from what I'm being told, there was some sort of a shake detector anomaly up here near Carson City this morning that was suggesting there was a 5.9 earthquake. I mean, that's nearly a 6.0. That's a lot of energy, man. To be a glitch? But that's what's going on. That was a glitch. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we won't see a even a larger possible earthquake here in the coming days, just simply because of the planetary position, the heightened solar activity. In case you guys haven't heard, we've got a new family member up here with regard to sunspots. Sunspot 4300 right there. As soon as it joined the big family here of very large sunspots turning towards the Earth, it tore off an M6 class solar flare. From what I understand, there is an Earth-directed component. Honestly, I haven't seen it yet on the LASCO. If there is a component, I think it's going to be, at the very best, maybe a glancing blow. In fact, let's just look. It should be updated by now. Let's go to the website, incoming storms, the Parker spiral. Here we go. I'm not seeing anything any different. This is the sun. This is the Earth. There's the solar flare from the second with the CME. High-speed CME, and I'm not seeing a new CME. So sometimes solar flares do not produce CMEs. All solar flares are not created equal. And this is one of those solar flares that the M6, which was right there, just under the X category. We'll probably see some X's here in the coming days, but not yet. I'm very, very surprised. The coronal hole coming over here they were talking about it over here at spaceweather.com. Strong solar flare and a CME, but the CME looks like it may miss the Earth. Looking at the coronal hole, we've been talking about this for the last 5 days. When the coronal hole was over here, it did face the Earth, as obviously we anticipated, because it was big and it was an equatorial coronal hole. And yes, it did produce a geomagnetic storm, albeit small. It was a very brief G3. I mean, G1s we don't even hardly really talk about, but they happen. You know, a G1 can happen when the BZ tilts south. And right now, I don't know whether the BZ's north or south. Let's just go look over here at spaceweather.com. The BZ right now is north. That means the shields are closed. So, you know, there's really not too much going on, but that could change anytime, because the Earth-facing side of the sun, once again, is absolutely loaded with sunspots in active regions, and the ones that are more active right now have been the smaller ones, 4295 and 4300. 4295 producing the X-class solar flare, 4300 producing the M6 that we just saw earlier, actually late last night at 0250 Zulu Universal Time. So we're still waiting. More than likely, they're primed and getting ready, and we'll see probably one after another after another. This is what the active region that we're looking at in the sunspots have been doing over here on the backside of the sun. This is from the 29th through the 4th, but the regions have been hyperactive for several days. And I think right now what they're doing is just basically taking a break, like Mount Kilauea, taking a break. It's been launching tall fountains of lava for several days off and on, the last 10 days. The last 3 days, it's just been up here just kind of smoldering, smoke drifting off into the distance. So for the time being, Mount Kilauea is rather quiet, but volcanoes also react to sunstorms, geomagnetic storms, planetary alignments, which we are definitely in a planetary alignment right now as I do this video, and will be for at least the next 10 days. 3i Atlas update. Here we go, guys. What I want to talk about are two things with regard to Comet Atlas, the mysterious ancient time traveler. Two things: the mysterious interstellar visitor. Where'd it go? Right here. Let's close it out. The mysterious interstellar visitor, 3i Atlas, will soon come in close encounter with planet Jupiter. That's where it's headed, right here. That's its next rendezvous point. You couldn't have mapped this out better with a pencil and paper and a computer. Right by Mars, or actually Venus, then Mars, or Mars, Venus, behind the sun, then Jupiter, staying away from the Earth for the most part. It's going to have its close approach to the Earth on December 19th. So coming up here in about 2 weeks. But there's something else that's been going on. A mysterious interstellar, the mysterious interstellar object, 3I Atlas, appears to be pulsating in a heartbeat pattern. We're going to talk about that here in a minute too. But first, its encounter with Jupiter. Mainly, what could happen? It's going to be affected by Jupiter as its close approach to Jupiter is in March, coming up in a couple of months, towards the end of March. But it's going to alter its path maybe just a little bit. Some people are speculating, and again, this is just highly speculatory, but some pretty big names. Who was it I was reading over here? Avi Loeb and Michio Kaku. These guys are well known. Michio Kaku. They are, again, this is just highly speculation, but they believe that once it nears Jupiter, it can be influenced by Jupiter's gravity, and it totally will, guaranteed, and causing it to become temporary captive in Jupiter's orbit. I don't know that that's going to happen. It's moving very fast, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. But more than the gravitational force, it's likely to be influenced by outgassing and radiation pressure. From an entirely new perspective, Harvard scientist Avi Loeb suspects that 3I Atlas is not even a natural cosmic object. They think that this thing is going to possibly land on Jupiter, release probes as it thrusts down into position that are going to be on Jupiter there forever. Again, that is just speculation. I don't think anybody knows for sure what it's going to do, but one thing for sure, it's going to get close enough to Jupiter that, you know, it will be influenced by the orbit of Jupiter. And something else is going on is its personality. Its personality has been strange from day one, and this thing, it hasn't changed. It's still acting very mysteriously, and here we go. Let me show you guys what's up. The pulsating light of this thing, for whatever reason, it pulsates every 16 hours. They're describing it as a heartbeat pattern. And the heartbeat, once again, is on a 16-hour and 16-minute cycle. The mysterious interstellar object, 3I Atlas, is just weeks away from reaching its close approach to the Earth. That's December the 19th. As Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb points out in a new blog post, they'll be building on intriguing and existing observations from ground telescopes. And here's a look at the comet right here. Check it out. Look at that. Still no tail. This thing has not had a tail since day one. It's been behind the sun at its close approach to the sun, and that's almost always, every time when a comet develops any type of a massive tail, it's during its close approach to the sun. This one did not do that. But anyway, they're talking about the personality of the light. They say that a team of researchers in Europe and Africa found signs that it's radiating a heartbeat pulse of light that repeats every 16 hours and 16 minutes. While that may sound like an intriguing new fold in Loeb's long-standing efforts to support the theory that the object could be an extraterrestrial spacecraft visiting the solar system, there's likely a much more mundane explanation: that it's spinning, pulsing us with light, and interstellar, like an interstellar lighthouse, or like a pulsar. I saw a pulsar one time up in the nighttime sky. I believe it was a pulsar. It was in the constellation of Hydra, and it would pulse every 3 minutes and 30 seconds. When Earth was in the right position. And that was in March of 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. I haven't seen it since. But it's kind of behaving like that. And more than likely it is because it's tumbling and it's reflecting light and it's on like basically a 16-hour orbit. So for whatever reasons, during that 16th hour, there's something shiny that's reflecting light. So it's brighter on one side than it is the other. So is that brightness from something that's made of intelligent origin? Or is it just got half of it's a bright icy body and the other half isn't? Or is it just some sort of a shiny metallic material that we've never seen before because there's a complete absence of a tail? Like right here. There's no evidence of a tail or any type of outgassing, really, like a normal comet. There's just nothing normal about this thing at all. This thing's been moving at 130,000 miles per hour. He goes on to say if it is really spinning, then 3I Atlas is anti-tail, which scientists suspect is the result of a pocket of material less affected by the sun's radiation pressure. Could be causing the stream of particles to flood to its coma, a fuzzy atmosphere of ice and dust surrounding its nucleus. But anyway, this thing has never, since day one, behaved like a comet. And honestly, guys, I don't think it ever will, because it's pulling away from the sun right now. And here it is when it was first discovered, right here, probably a month into this thing. See it right there? You can see it's kind of tumbling there. Doing something. That was one of the more interesting views from Michael Yeager. You know, if it wasn't for him, humanity wouldn't even have these types of looks of this comet. All NASA showed us was a little speck, a speck of dust. So thankfully, there's highly skilled people like Michael Yeager that can reach up there and show us things. He is very, very talented. But there it is right there, whatever it may be. Never has looked like a comet, doesn't look like a comet now, and I don't think it ever will. But anyway, they have discovered through observations that it does have a mysterious heartbeat-like pattern that for whatever reasons, every 16 hours, it pulses. A beam of light just adds to the mystery. Back to the geomagnetic storm. Yes, there was a G3 geomagnetic storm. We had auroras sent in. Here's a quick video from Iceland. I've got Iris up in Iceland that's keeping track of the skies for us above Iceland, and this is what she saw last night during the overnight hours. I think it was just after midnight, 12:04, which is 12:04 today over here in the States. I think it's already approaching midnight over there in Iceland right now. They may be having auroras again, but that's what the sky looked like. Thank you, Iris, so much. Really appreciate seeing the skies above Iceland. Have never been to Iceland. Looks like an absolutely fantastic, beautiful place. Thanks for sharing. I want to show you guys a green sky that is not aurora. Are you ready for this? Here we go. This video right here, I'm going to share with you guys the original video right here by Tanya Wendell. This is out of Michigan. Check this out. Let me turn down the volume because there's...
Okay, I put a hood on.
Okay, here she is.
You can't scare me.
She looked up. Now she's going to point this camera in different directions just to show that there's no other green anywhere else. Watch, she goes over to the left.
Michigan, 8-something p.m.
8 p.m.
Couldn't tell you the date. I know it's November.
It was the first week of November, and we were not having a geomagnetic storm. Look at her go to the left.
Yeah.
No green, no purple, nothing over there. But for some reason, above her community, there was a bright green light in the sky. She still, to this day, has no idea what that was. She shared a couple of videos with me, and I wanted to pass those along to you guys. That came out of Michigan, I don't know, a few weeks back. But it was not, again, aurora, and that was not during a geomagnetic storm. What a bizarre video. Green light. Here's a recent view of Atlas out of Italy, November 28th by Graziano Ventre, Italy, November 28th. Let's zoom in, look for that tail. Where's the tail? No tail. These are streaks of light. These are background stars because this is a long exposure, multi-stacked base image is what it is. This image is probably, it took 25 minutes to make this one image. And it's a series of images stacked together, keeping the comet the main focal point. But again, no tail. And this image right here is a week old. Where's the tail? There isn't one. So it's still a mystery. It looks pretty bright right there. Don't know, but it's pulsing now for whatever reasons every 16 hours, adding to the mystery. What else do I have for you guys? We got the full moon tonight. Don't forget the full moon. If it's not cloudy in your location, by all means, step outside and check out the full moon, super moon. Guys, this has been going on now for over a year. I know some of you think this is just a ballast, maybe a light bulb issue, but I've seen over 2,275 examples now. This video here is out of Austin, Texas. Got a light, 2 lights underneath the canopy, and then the light on the building itself was malfunctioning. Franklin, New Jersey, Chris, lights in the front of the building, malfunctioning. He'd never seen it do that before. That's why he stopped and took the video. I'm going to go through this quick because I know a lot of you are not interested in this. But guys, it's part of a bigger picture. Wilmington, Delaware, Mike M, 1128. Got a light back there in the back. And you know these are on a different circuit. See the bulb back there in the back, the light pole? And then the sign in front of the building, malfunctioning. And they're totally unrelated, but they sensed something. Fairfax, Virginia, Bruce came up on a series of lights behind a building, malfunctioning. Example number 5. AJ out of Sacramento, California, light in his entryway, malfunctioning, unlike anything he'd ever seen it do. It normally is either on or off. Not disco dancing like it is in this video right here, but I still get examples not every day, but almost every day, at least multiple times a week. I want to take you guys up to Mount Rainier real quick because it's responding to something, the west flank vibrating away again. This doesn't necessarily mean it's going to erupt. I don't know what it means. It could mean a variety of different things, but whatever it is, it's doing it again. This is today. Let's go back to yesterday. I think it started yesterday. Yeah, it started last night. Look at that. So maybe it's sensing the planetary alignment. I know volcanoes do. I've connected that dot a long time ago, guys. I wouldn't even bring it up if I hadn't connected the dot at some point in time in my adult life, and I have. So I don't know if this is reacting to the energy from the planetary alignment, maybe the full moon. Could be a combination of things. But anyway, the western flank of Mount Rainier is, for whatever reasons, vibrating again. And there you have it. And there are other volcanoes up there doing the same thing. Some, I think Mount Hood up near Canada, or up in Washington. But there's other ones doing this, not just Mount Rainier. So quick update on that. It was quiet there for a couple of days, and now it's right back at it, doing it again. So very, very interesting. Like the earthquake, the absence of an earthquake this morning, that was a very bizarre sequence of events. 5.9 popped up mysteriously near Carson City out of nowhere, and the seismographs were offline, and now the entire earthquake is as if it never even existed. And apparently, it never did. I was just curious, is anybody in here that lives near Lake Tahoe or Carson City? Do you guys feel anything up there? Mount St. Helens, I checked on Mount St. Helens, and I didn't see anything up there, Michael. Good question. I did check on Mount St. Helens. Anybody up there near the Lake Tahoe, Carson City? I'm just curious because... like I said, I've seen tandem earthquakes and then one, be taken off. And that was following like a legitimate 6.5, whatever, 6.8, usually a big quake. And this one was big for Nevada just to disappear like that. All right, I was just curious. Okay, I was just looking at the comments, guys. That's all right. Well, I don't think anybody in here is from Carson City or Lake Tahoe. I thought I'd take a chance. Happy birthday, Jenny. All right, yay. Mr. Graham in the house, Star family member. Yeah, there you go. Good idea. Looking for a sinkhole at Lake Tahoe. Yeah, you might be right there, Mr. Graham. 5.9, that's pretty strong, guys. That's just one click underneath 6.0, and a 6.0 is a powerful earthquake. And for there to be nothing there following that, you're welcome, Jeannie. Hope you have a great day. Yeah, that's pretty wild. So if any of you guys maybe are watching this video later and you're near Lake Tahoe, Carson City, and you felt the ground vibrate this morning? Leave a comment down below in the comment section. If you guys want to become Star Family members, the link is also down below in the comment section. Once again, guys, we have a new family member over here looking at the sun. There are now multiple, I think we're at 8 now, sunspots facing the Earth. At least 7, maybe this one here makes 8. It could be 9. I know they're growing fast. These down here, the ones that have been the primary focus, have been very, very quiet. In fact, as a professor I know says, these are being eerily quiet. So we're keeping a very close eye on those. All right, guys, well, listen, I'm going to hop off here, call it a day. I want to thank you for spending part of your Thursday with me. Once again, tomorrow is Friday again. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.